The White House ballroom is getting a major remodel.
Eric Adams announces his endorsement for Andrew Cuomo.
And the Feinberg Library is receiving thousands of new books.
All that, plus weather, entertainment, and sports coming up on PS News.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Grant Hockmuth.
And I'm Sari Mendoza. Thanks for joining us.
Demolition is underway at the White House. President Trump is moving forward with a brand new ballroom. On Monday, crews were seen using an excavator to tear down parts of the East Wing, making way for what the administration says will be a $200 million, 90,000 square foot event space. Renderings released by the White House show the ballroom will sit directly over the area being cleared. The project, according to officials, will be funded privately by Trump and a group of high-dollar donors. During a recent fundraiser dinner, the president said the ballroom will be keeping with the White House's historic design. The Treasury Department has instructed employees not to photograph the site after images of demolition went viral online.
Amazon could be gearing up for a massive shift in how it does business, one that could transform both the company's workforce and the future of retail. The tech giant is now facing new reports that it plans to replace hundreds of thousands of jobs with robots over the next decade. The New York Times reports Amazon is looking to cut back on human labor by leaning more heavily on artificial intelligence and automation. Internal documents reviewed by the Times indicate the company's AI investments could help avoid hiring about 600,000 people it would otherwise need, even as product sales double by 2033. The report also claims Amazon plans to automate up to 75% of warehouse operations in the coming years. Amazon, currently the nation's second largest employer, is pushing back against the report. In a statement, the company said the documents were incomplete and don't accurately reflect its overall hiring strategy.
NASA's next moon mission may look a lot different than planned. The agency is reassessing who will build the spacecraft that lands astronauts on the lunar surface. NASA is reevaluating its dependency on SpaceX to land astronauts on the moon. On Monday, acting NASA Chief Sean Duffy announced the agency will open the lunar lander contract to more competitors instead of relying solely on SpaceX. SpaceX was awarded a $2.9 billion contract in 2021 to develop its Starship vehicle for the Artemis III mission. But with the project behind schedule, Duffy says he's not willing to wait on just one company, especially as China moves towards its own crewed moon landing by 2030. Artemis III is currently targeting 2027 and could mark the first crewed moon landing since the Apollo program over 50 years ago. Duffy says the goal is to keep it simple, keep competition high, costs low, and ensure America stays on track to return to the moon.
Outgoing New York City Mayor Eric Adams is throwing his support behind former Governor Andrew Cuomo in the race for mayor. The endorsement marks a stunning turnaround from the bitter feud the two shared just months ago. Adams formally announced the endorsement at a press conference Thursday. His spokesperson confirmed Adams' plans to campaign alongside Cuomo, a surprising reversal after Adams previously called him a snake and a liar, just days before dropping out of his own re-election bid. The move comes on the heels of Cuomo's final debate performance on Wednesday. It remains unclear how much influence Adams' support will have on the race. At the time he exited, Adams was polling in fourth, behind Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani, Cuomo, and Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa. In a statement, Mamdani's campaign responded, quote, "It's no surprise to see two men who share an affinity for corruption and Trump capitulation align themselves."
Tensions ran high in the town of Plattsburgh Tuesday night as residents packed a planning board meeting to speak out against a proposed federal detention facility. The federal government, through the General Services Administration, is seeking approval to operate an office and temporary short-term holding facility inside a former warehouse on Idaho Avenue. More than 100 people turned out for the meeting, many believing the site would be used by immigration and customs enforcements, though officials didn't specify which agency would run it. Residents overwhelmingly opposed the plan during a nearly 2-hour public comment session, raising concerns about safety, location, and the impact on local redevelopment efforts. The planning board ultimately tabled the decision until its next meeting as members wait for more details about security, traffic impacts, and which agency would be involved. The board is expected to revisit the proposal on November 18th.
Clinton Community College moved this fall, and it brought more than students. Over 14,000 books are now on shelves at SUNY Plattsburgh Feinberg Library. The college relocated from Bluff Point to the former Red K Hall, now the George Moore Building. With the move came a massive donation of books from Clinton's Douglas Library. Staff from both libraries spent summers sorting and boxing the collection. Nearly 1,000 boxes and 7 file cabinets arrived September 16th. By mid-October, about 3/4 of the materials were unpacked. The books were in such good condition, staff say, it helped inform new policies for maintaining collections. The move also eliminated $25 community library cards. Now, faculty, students, and the public can access the collection free of charge. For Clinton students, the change means more space, longer hours, and a larger collection than ever before. Librarians say the collaboration shows how working together can create a more accessible and dynamic learning environment. We'll be back with a look at your weather after the break. Stay tuned.
Spicy was created in order to give us Caribbeans a way of expressing ourselves. In the Caribbean, there's multiple ways of showcasing talent, and dancing is one of them.
We have a bunch of different ethnicities and everything in here, so it's a Caribbean dance team, so we definitely are inspired by the Caribbean dance hall and stuff like that, and all different types of Caribbean dances.
We go out together. Like, even if we're going to a party, they play our song, we'll do it together. Like, but we do like a lot of fun stuff together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Outside of Spicy. And it's just really like us, like we are like a family, like it is.
There's so many different personalities on the team.
Giving very much family.
Vibrant.
Joking, like we joke a lot.
Spicy will accept you, and it's just a great team. So if you're looking to join, then yeah.
What was the other one? Not really sure, but I'm now here for the rest of the semester. Now let's look at, hello, my name is Jonah Vigor-Flora, and your meteorologist will show you the weather. We got 40s across the board except this one, but we'll return that further. We got 44 at Owl's Head, we got Vermontville 44, Dannemora at 47, Osceola Forks at 49. As Plattsburgh with another 49, St. Albans City heading over to Vermont is a 49, and that lone 50, Burlington and Williston. Well, that's mostly there, but let's look at the 5-day forecast. It's not looking good. Just rain. It's just wet, all right? We got Friday, today was raining on my bike commute. It was bad. It was really bad. It was raining. It was okay. It was a little droplets. I survived. And with Saturday with a 49 degrees with partly clouds, as we look back on the weekend on Sunday, oh no, it's rain again. It's just rain. And then back to starting your week, it's just going to be starting to be cold now. It's going to be in the 40s now. As 48 on Monday, partly clouds. As Tuesday, it's 51 and partly clouds. A little warm up, but as the months go around, it's getting colder. Well, that's the latest of your check of the weather. Now let's turn to the desk with entertainment.
Good afternoon, Plattsburgh. I'm Addison Burt. Let's take a look at what's happening in Hollywood. A legendary rock band from the Garden State is making a major comeback, and fans are ready for it. Bon Jovi has announced its first tour since 2022, marking the band's return to the stage a multi-year break. The tour includes 4 nights at New York City's Madison Square Garden next July, with several international stops also confirmed, including London's Wembley Stadium. The hiatus came after frontman Jon Bon Jovi underwent a vocal cord procedure. He recently tested his voice during a private performance this summer, giving fans confidence he's ready for a full tour. Bon Jovi was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2018 and has sold more than 120 million albums worldwide. Ticket sale dates haven't been released just yet, but expect high demand when they do. Want to go? You'll have to keep the faith and act fast. Warner Brothers Discovery, the parent company of CNN, could be heading toward a major shakeup. The media giant is now weighing its future and a potential sale that could reshape Hollywood's power structure. The company announced Tuesday it's in talks with multiple potential buyers, including Paramount Skydance. Officials say the board of directors has begun a formal review of its options, ranging from breaking up the company to a complete sale. The CEO has long floated the idea of splitting Warner Bros. Discovery into two separate entities, saying it would create more value for shareholders. But Paramount recently made a play to buy the entire company, an offer that sources say the board rejected for being too low. Investors seem encouraged. WBD stock climbed more than 7% in Tuesday's pre-market trading. Negotiators from the Broadway Musicians Union and the Theater Owners and Producers Association have reached a tentative agreement, preventing what could have been the first major work stoppage on Broadway in years. Early Thursday morning, the union representing Broadway musicians announced it had reached an agreement with the Theater Owners and Producers Association. Union leaders say the deal includes higher pay and improved health benefits for musicians. The last time Broadway faced a strike was in 2007, when the stagehands union walked off the job for nearly 3 weeks. If ratified, the agreement will keep Broadway musicians playing, avoiding disruptions and ensuring shows can go on as planned. That's the latest in entertainment this week. We'll be right back with you with your sports update after this brief intermission.
Warp Radio runs on Charter Channel 194, Campus Channel 10 here on campus. It gives Plattsburgh students an opportunity to be a radio DJ and see if that's something they have interest in for a future career path. You're listening to WARP, Charter Channel 194, Campus Channel 10, Plattsburgh, New York.
Hello Plattsburgh, I'm Alex Duval, and let's get right into this week's sports action. The Plattsburgh State men's soccer team locked in a SUNYAC playoff spot in dominant fashion Wednesday, blanking SUNY Potsdam 6-0 at the Fieldhouse. The Cardinals came out firing, controlling possession from the start and outshooting Potsdam 25-3. Plattsburgh struck early in the 5th minute. First-year Rocco Bushido lasered one from distance to open up the scoring. Then, in the 21st, Declan Gallagher headed home a corner from junior Chris Arias, who took over the match from there. Arias tallied 4 assists on the day, setting up back-to-back goals for seniors Randall Ashong and Justin Siegel, both their first as Cardinals, before finding Ryan Shalvey to make it 5-0 at the half. In the second, sophomore Alex Rivera finished the job on a PK in the 78th minute, securing the 6-0 win. Plattsburgh now turns its attention to the regular season finale this Saturday against Buffalo State with kickoff set for 1 p.m. at the Fieldhouse. A strong finish could give the Cardinals valuable postseason positioning as they prepare for their playoff run. Now, as for the women's soccer team here at Plattsburgh State, they picked up a big road win Wednesday, edging North Country rival SUNY Potsdam 1-0. The Cardinals entered the match fresh off clinching a SUNYAC playoff spot over the weekend, and they kept that momentum rolling. Plattsburgh controlled possession early and set the tone defensively, holding Potsdam to just 1 shot in a scoreless first half. After the break, both teams struggled to find quality chances until the Cardinals struck late. With under 12 minutes to play, senior Kelly Licata sliced a perfect ball through the defense to junior Sydney Myers, who buried her team-leading 10th goal of the season for the game winner. Plattsburgh's back line slammed the door shut from there, locking in the clean sheet and extending their unbeaten streak now to 5 straight. The Cardinals improved to 8-6-2 overall and 5-1-2 in SUNYAC play. They'll wrap up the regular season on the road tomorrow at Buffalo State. Kickoff is set for 11 a.m. Now finally over to the NFL. The Chargers took down the Vikings 37-10 at SoFi Stadium last night as Justin Herbert put on a show with 3 touchdowns and a dominant LA performance. Los Angeles set the tone early. Herbert rolled out and fired an 8-yard strike to Oronde Gadsden II for the opening touchdown. After the score by Kimani Vidal, Herbert wasn't done. He dimed a perfect 27-yard touchdown to Ladd McConkey to extend the lead before halftime. Minnesota showed signs of life in the third. After a pick, Carson Wentz found Jordan Addison to cut it to 24-10. but the comeback ended there. Herbert put the game to bed in the fourth with his third touchdown of the day, hitting Trey Harris, and the Chargers defense sealed it with yet another interception. The Chargers cruise 37-10. Herbert finishes with 227 yards and 3 scores as LA continues to roll with a statement win at home. Well, that's all the sports that I have for you this week, Plattsburgh. Now let's get right back to the desk.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's edition of PS News.
We're your news anchors, Suri Mendoza
And Grant Hockmuth. Make sure to stay tuned for next weekly update as well as our upcoming shows.
You will find all of those shows right here on our YouTube channel. Also, make sure to check out our Instagram at Plattsburgh State TV.
Have a great week, Plattsburgh.